woman or whatever. But Jesus gave you the command, and he said, go. And even when Jesus began to walk, and he was perfect, and he didn't have no flaws. But guess what? People still talked down on him. People still looked down on him. People still didn't want to receive him. And he was the almighty, powerful Son of God. And guess what? Think about you. But you got to understand, when the waves are coming in your ship, and when your ship is taking on water, all you got to do is look up and say, but Jesus.
But Jesus.
But Jesus. And when he had sent the multitude away, he went up into a mountain and apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. Now look at this ship. Now the ship had them sailed out. He had them sent them out before he sent the multitude away. And the ship had them been sailing, and it was in the midst of the sea. Now think about it, if you was in the midst of that big old ocean. How many of y'all young people ever went out and looked at the river or been at the beach? And you know how when you sit at the beach and you look at the beach and you be on the shore and you look way back there at the end of the water, it look like if you go to the end of the beach, it look like the ship would just drop off, like it ain't got nowhere for it to go. Well, they was in the midst of this sea that you may see at the beach sometimes, and it's like you just gonna drop off. But they was in the midst of this, and you think about it, there was no land in sight in the midst of this sea. So they began to fear, because guess what? The storm rose up in their life. But Jesus spoke, and he said, I want you to go. And he sent them out. And when he began to send them out, they went out and they was taking on water. And they was fighting this thing for a good while, man. They was fighting this thing from the 4th hour all the way to sunrise. And as they was beginning to fight this thing, I can imagine as they were sitting there fighting, they got tired. Then they had to switch out. This person had to row and let that person rest. And this person had to row and let that person rest. And so, but as soon as they got to the end of their rope and they felt like they just couldn't do it no more, when they felt like they just couldn't paddle or row no more, guess what? But Jesus showed up on the scene. But when he showed up on the scene, he didn't show up no any kind of way. He didn't show up fighting the water himself. He didn't show up going down up underneath the water, but he showed up like this here. I'm like this my water. He showed up walking on the water. He showed up with authority. He showed up with power. He showed up with purpose. He showed up with destiny. He showed up with next level. He showed up with your blessings. He showed up with your healing. He showed up with your deliverance. He showed up, and when he came, you was taking on water, and you was sinking, and you was drowning, but Jesus walked up, and when he stood up tall, and when you was sinking, he still was upright, staying up tall, and when you was drowning in your sin, he still was upright and tall, and he said, but Jesus. And they got afraid because they thought he was a spirit walking on the water. But when he was walking on the water, guess what? He gave them some assurance. He said, be not afraid, because it is I in your life. He said to you young people, be not afraid, because it is I. Be not afraid, because it is I. He said, be not afraid, but it's I. And he came walking on the water. He came walking with authority. He came walking with power. But as you were sinking, he was walking. As you were sinking, he was healing. As you were sinking, he was preparing your next level. As you were sinking, he saw you sinking, and he reached down. But as they saw him on the water, they began to look at him. And they begin to take on fear, because you already got a storm in your life. You already got waves crashing over your ship, trying to take you up out of the ark. What? The ark of safety, because it had to be an ark of safety, because Jesus told them to get in the boat. So when they got in the boat, that made it an ark of safety, because Jesus told them to get in the boat. So that made it the ark of safety, because he commanded you to get in the ship. So when they got in the ship, they was in safety, but they didn't realize they was in safety. But what Jesus was doing, Jesus was building their faith up. Jesus was trying to get them to get their faith to another level. But there was one particular person in the crowd. Just imagine 12 people in the crowd. I want 12 young people to come up here. 12 young people to come up here. Come on. Move quickly. 12 young people, get up here. Come on. Come on, y'all put some pep in y'all step. Get on up here. Y'all younger than me, and I can walk faster than that now. Come on, young people. I need 12 people.
12.
Come on, young people. Don't be ashamed. Come on, y'all. Come on.
Martell.
Come on. I bet if I said we was up there doing the Soulja Boy, I bet if I said we was up there getting ready to dance with T.I., I bet everything he would have ran up on this stage. Because T.I. would have been up there getting down, y'all be like, hey. I said, come up here for Jesus Christ. Y'all like, man, what? Man, please. But if I would have said T.I., ooh, T.I. right, I thank y'all for coming up here, right? Okay, so his 12 disciples, he told them to get into the ship. Now, as I already stated, when he told them to get in the ship, that made that ship an ark of safety, because Jesus commanded, he spoke it, he said, get in the ship. He told them to take the ship, and he said, launch out into the deep. Now, when he said launch out into the deep, he stayed back with the multitude, but after they launched out, he told the multitude to leave, and he went to go pray. But he sent them out by themselves. And just imagine y'all are the 12 disciples that was on the ship, and y'all was in the midst of the sea, and y'all was up there, and y'all was paddling, and y'all was warm. But when y'all first launched out, everything was just smooth sailing, everything was just so fine, so good, and so dandy. But then as you got to the middle, in the middle of the sea, guess what? The storm began to rise. And when the storm began to rise, what would you have said?
I would have asked God to help me.
What would you have said?
Help me.
What would you have said?
I would have prayed. I would have prayed too.
What would you have done?
I would have prayed.
What would you have done?
I would have prayed.
What would you have done?
Prayed.
What would you have done?
Prayed.
Nah, tell the truth. Jump, dog.
What would you have done?
Prayed.
What would you have done?
Ask God to help us.
What would you have done?
Ask God to help.
Now can I say this to you? Now all y'all saying pray, ask God to help me. Now y'all saying the right answers to my question, right? But y'all would be like this here. Lord, oh God, we're finna die. We're finna die. We're finna die. Oh, we're taking on water. Somebody, oh, get the water out of the ship. Get the water out of the ship. Oh God, we're finna go. Oh Jesus. Oh. But guess what? y'all would have been hysterical. You out in the middle of the sea in a ship. Come on, somebody. But here's what I'm gonna get at. I want somebody to be my Peter. Who think they bold enough to be Peter up here? Who think they have enough heart? Who think they hard enough? Who think they tough enough? Jakari. That's who I want. Jakari. Stand right there, sir. Stand right there. And it says, but the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. Come on, y'all crying out like if as y'all see an evil spirit, saying, oh, it's a spirit. Come on, point out that way. Point out that way. Point out that way. Come on, come on. Josh, you better do it because you see stuff all the time. You talking about, ooh, something over there, daddy. Ooh, daddy. Wait a minute, daddy. Don't go nowhere, daddy. Josh be like, oh, daddy. Ooh, somebody fed me, daddy. Come here, daddy. Come here. I be like, why ain't nobody over there? He talking about, no, they right there. Now, y'all cry out loud with a loud voice. Now, y'all can cry out louder than that. Now, y'all think I'm playing with Josh. When we be in the house, it can be daytime, right? And we can have all the blinds open, right? And it can be bright like this here. But the bathroom down the hallway. And I be sitting there, and I'm sitting down playing a video game. And Josh be like, Daddy. I be like, what, boy, leave me alone. I'm in the season. I'm playing with my NCAA football 2010. He be like, Daddy. I be like, what? Well, leave me alone. I gotta go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. I be like, won't you go to the bathroom? No. I be like, Josh, go to the bathroom. I'm right here. I don't trust you, Daddy. So he mess around. I say, LaTony, go back there with him and watch him. So Josh is going down the hallway. And he'll go to the first bathroom in the hallway. And mine, now when you end up doing number, 2. Close the door. Not Josh. Leave that door open. And when they doing number 2, there's a curio cabinet right there with a glass in it. So he can see shadows. And LaTony, I wasn't paying attention. I was too locked into the season to making sure I go undefeated, right? LaTony sitting up there doing like this, here, standing back, waving in the mirror. Josh said, somebody in the mirror. Somebody in the mirror. Somebody in the mirror. I say, pull up a beat your tail. You don't stop there. Come on back up here, Josh. I mean, Josh be afraid when he talking about somebody in that mirror. No, Daddy. But so I know if y'all want to see a spirit, y'all won't be talking about, ooh, y'all be like, running up out of here. But they thought Jesus was a spirit when they seen him coming walking on the water. And when they saw him walking on the water, there was one bold person by the name of, I'm going to call him Jakari Peter. Jakari Peter. Because how many of y'all know that Jakari is a bold young man? Jakari has some heart. Jakari will do what a lot of other people won't do. When you be like, well, I need somebody to come dance, everybody be like, Jakari be like,
That's right.
I'll dance. You be like, Jakari, I need you to do something. Okay, no problem. You ask my son, Tony go, I ain't doing it. But there was one disciple that was bold on the ship, and his name was Peter. But straight away Jesus spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, and it is I, be not afraid. Now Jesus had done told them, even when they thought they saw a spirit, Jesus told them, he said, it is I, be not afraid. But how many of y'all grown-ups in here right now today, if y'all would have seen somebody walking on water, within your common sense, ain't nobody got no business walking on no water. And then he would have been like, it is I, my son, it is I, my daughter, be not afraid. I'd have been like, I don't know who you is, but bye. You know what I'm saying? I would have got up out of there. You talking about somebody walking on the water? But Jesus had gave them some assurance. He said, it is I. Be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. Okay, say it. Say, Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto thee on the water. And when Peter said that, you got to understand at this particular time, the disciples are students, they are pupils, they are people that are in training. And so they was in training. But all the disciples didn't have the faith that Peter possessed it. Peter possessed a strong faith. He possessed something that the other disciples just didn't quite have yet. And Peter was a bold joker. Peter just didn't care. And so when Peter asked Jesus this, Peter wasn't just asking this just to test Jesus. Peter was asking this because he really wanted to find out, is that really Jesus? And I really want to come out there and walk with you on that water. So when he said that, Jesus gave him the right of way to walk on the water, Peter began to walk out on the water. Now can't you just see Peter in your mind with some strong faith, walking out on that water, having no problems going unto his Lord and his Savior? The same thing with us. We ought to switch it around and look at ourselves. Even though we in the ship and we in the ark of safety, we don't understand we're in the ark of safety, and we see the waves coming all around us, and we start to sink. All we got to do is just say, Lord, if it be thou, Lord, bid me to come unto thee, God. Give me the strength to walk out on this water. Give me the strength to stand. Give me the strength to hold on. Give me the strength to endure. Give me the strength. Give me the faith that Peter had to say, let me walk. And as you begin to say it, don't just say it and don't mean it, but say it, and as you say it, you walk it. Because faith ain't no good without works. You got to walk that thing. You got to, come on, tell somebody, just walk it out. Walk it out. Come on, walk it out your car. Walk it out. Go do it. Walk it out. Walk it out. And you got to walk it out with your head up, not down. Hold your head up. And you got to walk that thing out with your head up and not down. And as you begin to ask him, let you come, he told him to come. And Peter began to walk. Now, Peter was a bold soldier. But at the time when Peter asked that, Jesus was building all their faith, because when he asked that, the other disciples was afraid, but at the same time they was watching like, wow, I can't believe Peter actually going to go walk out on this water unto that spirit, because the other disciples couldn't believe that was Jesus. They didn't believe it was Jesus, because guess what? They stayed back and they were like, man, I don't know, that's a spirit. That's a spirit. But Jesus said, bid me to come unto thee. And when Jesus said, come, Peter walked. The other disciples were like, wow. Wouldn't you be in amazement if you was in the ship with 11 other people, and one of them say, well, to the spirit that we thought was just a spirit, and say, let me walk, and they begin to walk? Wouldn't you be like, wow,